If you have a goal and you want to accelerate to get that goal, I want to tell you something. You can speed up the process, but if you'll speed up the process, you gotta be ready for the consequences. I'm not telling you it's gonna be bad, but you will change forever. You now versus you achieving your goals are completely two different people. You right now will not be the same when you have your goals. These are two different people, completely different people, not even the same looks. You know when you see someone and you didn't see him in a while, and all of a sudden you feel like you've changed. Yes, you should have changed too, right? You tell him that he has changed, and it is true. He became a new person. He changed his conception of self, and this is the key. While you are working towards your goals, or when you are like going full speed towards your goal, you're doing everything correctly. You are focusing on the plan. Many people focus on the plan and they forget something, the mindset. They focus on the strategy. 95% of the time they focus on the strategy. But the truth of the matter is this. You gotta focus on the mindset. Because if you don't have the mindset, then the strategy means nothing. You gotta change your mind. When you change your mind, and at the same time you work on the strategy, then you are speeding up your manifestations, your goals. You are attacking it from two different angles. You are creating it energy to matter, and you are attacking it correctly matter to matter. So your efforts will be like you'll be like, I'm working, but I don't feel like I'm working. I'm actually doing what excites me the most. This is the key. Because when you get that feeling that you have to do something, it's the higher mind telling you that this is my message for you, do this. Like if you want to draw, for example, you are an artist and you want to draw, and all of a sudden you get this feeling that I gotta get my brush and I gotta paint. This is the higher mind talking to you right now. You gotta follow that. Sometimes people say it's intuition, whatever you might call it. This is the higher mind trying to communicate with you. And when you actually answer that call by doing the thing that excites you the most, the higher mind will give you more, and more magic will happen into your life, synchronicities, magical manifestations. It's just a sign that you are hearing the higher mind. You are communicating with the higher mind. Because remember, here in the physical reality, this is just a hologram. Your state of being will be reflected on the outside. What's inside will be reflected on the outside, just like a mirror. Can you frown at the mirror and expect it to smile at you? It's impossible. You gotta smile first. And here's the thing. Circumstances don't matter. Only your state of being matters. Meaning, if the same situation rises up, and you see it, and you react to it as you've always reacted, then you didn't change. But if the same situation is in front of you right now, and you reacted to it differently in a positive way, then you've changed. Then the world around you got no choice but to change too, because you proved that you really did change. Not only saying it, no, you really did change. You changed now. You are a new person, and this is the key. The key here is to be that person, a new man, a new woman, someone who is completely different from the past. You are not the past. You are not the future. You are now. You are in the present moment. What do you choose to be in this present moment? Choose it right now. Assume it right now. And once you do it, if you are working on a goal and you are attacking the 3D, but you didn't change your mindset, then you can achieve your goals, but you will lose it. Why? Because you don't have the mindset. But if you actually work on the mindset first, instead of focusing on the strategy for 95% of the time, you focus on the mindset, then the strategy will just fall into place. It will become normal to you. It will be so normal to you. You will have inspired action if it's needed, because sometimes, believe me, it won't be needed. And this is the crazy thing about manifestation. If you believe that you have to take action, you will. If you believe that you don't, you won't. And sometimes, paradoxically, what you believe will happen, the exact opposite happens, and it shifts back to what you expected. It's just like a test, a little test. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But sometimes it happens, so don't be afraid or discouraged when you see something like that. Don't panic. I don't want you to panic when you see something like that. Don't be panicking when you see that circumstances are against you. If you assumed the thing to be as you wanted and you really believed in it, then don't be afraid. Imagination is the real reality. Imagination is the creation. So go within. Go within and change whatever you are seeing to the thing that you want. Don't be afraid to imagine yourself successful. Sometimes you are afraid to imagine yourself being successful because you are afraid of judgment from other people. Don't be afraid. Assume that they won't judge you. That's the thing. You are assuming a new reality. You are becoming a completely different person. You are becoming a new conception of yourself. When you do it, believe me, a lot of things are going to change. A lot of things. Sometimes you might face difficulties. Why? Because you are leveling up. You are facing like a new boss. When you face a new monster, what do you expect? You got to beat him to get to the next level. Sometimes it works that way. When you work on the conception of yourself to that point that you are unfazed by anything, then you will actually have that much confidence to actually manifest out of thin air. You can right now, but your failure to believe that you can is the reason sometimes you go through hardships and tribulations. This is why. This is a problem with the belief system we all have. We've been raised that in order to get something we have to suffer, and this is not true. In order to get something you have to believe that you already have it. Once you believe you already have it, then you will see it in this physical 3D reality. This is the reality of it. This is how it works, not the opposite. We've been programmed that we gotta see it to believe it, but the reality of it is you gotta believe it to see it. And once you believe it, believe me, you will see it. This is how it works. This is life. This is the real life. If you want to speed up your manifestations, if you want to achieve your goals and you are doing the work and you didn't see any results, then believe me, the problem is in your mind, your mindset, your beliefs. Change your mindset. Hypnotize yourself. Impress the subconscious mind every time you go to bed. Imagine that you already are the person you want to be and fall asleep in that assumption and watch the magic happens. You guys are asking me about the techniques and all that. This is why I made my ebook. 26-page ebook. There you go. All the techniques. You have it. You have no excuses. Get the book and get the job done. And let me tell you something. Techniques are only permission slips, which means they are aiding you to get into the feeling of the wish fulfilled. If you can't get it right now, right here, then you don't need techniques. But if you need techniques, don't just read one book and go to the other and go to the other like I did. I eventually was just like angry at myself because I wasted so much time looking for the next new technique. And in reality, all I did was I gathered all the info and I've put it into the ebook. It wasn't meant to be published, but many of you guys were asking me. That's why I published it. So now you have it. All you have to do now is apply it. Apply whatever works for you and be faithful to your assumption. See the goal as already being done. You have accomplished it. How do you feel? Sleep in that feeling and watch the magic happens. If you already know what to do, assume that you already have it. And sometimes you won't need to do anything. Things will just get to you. Instead of you going to them, things will get to you. This is how magical it is. I believe in you. I don't want you to waste your life looking for the next big thing, the next big technique, because you already have all the things that you want. And your failure to believe that you do is the reason you don't see it. Once you believe, you will see it. So that's it for today's video. I hope you find it helpful.